Welcome, welcome, welcome to another amazing Mocha Money Monday. I'm your host, Ashley Scott, and today I have Miss Michelle Outlaw, the president of FAMU Credit Union and a 30-year veteran in the game when it comes to the banking industry, understanding grants, understanding development, here to drop some jewels for you all today. So get tuned in, get your notebooks. Let's get ready to talk about something that can really help you to scale up and help you to think bigger, right? And to identify some exciting new opportunities in green development. So I'm going to pass the ball to you, Miss Outlaw, to talk about the recent pitch competition that you were just a judge of, because there's already things happening in the green development space. And I'd love to hear about that pitch competition and what was, something that stood out or was exciting to you when you heard those pitches.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It is such a pleasure to be here. Yes, this is such an exciting time for the industry, for individuals, when we talk about this clean energy and this greenhouse, sometimes emissions is what we talk about. You hear it referred to, solar is what you hear it referred to. And oftentimes we think about just solar panels, but it's so much more. So thank you for having me. So, yes, I had the pleasure in late May to go to the community pitch in Washington, D.C. It was the first round of pitches. Now, this came about from the Inflation Reduction Act from the Biden administration. And Department of Energy had, and they're still going on with additional pitches along the way, but people could submit their ideas for development. And so these were people from across the country who were allowed to come and pitch their deals. So what's exciting about it? No two places are the exact same thing. So yes, we're talking about solar panels on homes. We're talking about electric vehicles. You'll hear them referred to as EVs. We're talking about solar farms. So you don't have to necessarily have solar panels placed on your home, but you can tap into a solar farm and have that benefit. So those are some of the great things and those pitches that we were hearing, and they're going to be ongoing. So this is new. We're scratching the surface. There's a lot more to come. And I'll start and end with this on today. I want people to go out to and just Google Inflation Reduction Act. I want you to tap into Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, because there you're going to have a host of information. And then you can decide what's best for you or who to contact, because there are angel investors, there are venture capitalists, there are tax credits, and then there's like Department of Energy that are offering. And then in addition to that, some of the financial institutions have just been awarded their amounts of money, and they're coming up with their plans and their structures. So look forward to that, because that's coming very soon as they continue to put the structures in place. We've been talking about this at least 2 years, and now the financial institutions are beginning to start seeing more of that. I actually sit on a board, Clean Energy Credit Union board, and they've been up and running now, I believe, 7 years,
Okay.
and they are a nationwide credit union.
So I would love to talk about like the average business owner. We have a lot of women entrepreneurs. They may not be in the solar industry, right? Like if I'm someone who maybe I own a building, maybe I have a business, a hair salon, I'm a plumber, I have a solid HVAC business, something that might be, the average business owner for as especially African American, a small business community. What do you think we should be thinking about when we're looking at these gas house reductions, and how do we work with our credit union to see how we might benefit from these things when we go do that research? How it might not immediately come as a connection to us, Can you help us make some of those connections for us as average small business owners from what you might be seeing?
Absolutely. If you have the building, you own that building, or you own some land, dream big.
Okay.
Place solar panels on the rooftops of those buildings. Tap into what is being offered. So again, if you are that developer and you say that you're going to place panels on top of that building, then what's the radius of people that you can connect with? How far is that going to go out? Again, go to that Inflation Reduction Act, Greenhouse Gas Reduction Act, and read about all the funding that is available. And of course, I always lean into Department of Energy because I have worked with them in terms of having these conversations, being on the panel some years ago with one of the people from the NREL, and then being asked to come back and serve on that community pitch and listening to what's going on. And so they're doing just what you said. These people have land, they have buildings, and they're saying, okay, how can I help my community? Because it really is a community focus. How can I get this energy, this clean energy out to people who need it? And I'm not charging them exuberant fees. And I want to talk about that in just a moment. And so look at what Department of Energy has. Again, there are also angel investors and venture capitalists out here. And I can give a list if you want to place it on your website or something like that, because they are so numerous. And so it's about really tapping into who has it available. And again, there's some other things that are get ready to come online now. But again, the names and the structures, I know 3 groups that have received monies thus far. However, the plan is not finished because it's still very new. So as I receive more information on how they are structuring and what they're offering, I will bring that to you. But at this moment, I know you can tap in with Department of Energy,
So
and it's
let's talk.
doing just. Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and look at their listen, look at what they have to offer, look at the deadlines, because there are lots of deadlines out there, and go ahead and make application immediately. So do your homework, tap in with some other people who are doing the same work, because they will really share the information. I can give you some names of some people. I'll ask, can you tap in with them, and they can share with you what they already have experienced. Because again, it's happening across the country. So no one person or company that I know of is going across the country. So it's not as if you are competing. Okay.
Okay. Got it. So what I'd like to talk a little bit about for my developers and my builders is how do we work with community to get them these opportunities, these this monies that's out here to better their community, to help bring down those greenhouse emissions, because this is actually important real work that is for our climate and to fight climate change. So when we think about just the environmental and the social justice aspect of what we can do as builders and developers, like, should we be looking at comprehensive plans? Should we be thinking about private public partnerships? Like, how do we get an edge into really putting together the best proposals to be able to pitch and get this money that the energy and the Department of Energy has available? Do you have any insights on how we best work with community?
Absolutely. One, talk to those who sell the products, okay? Because they're looking for that edge, so they need to partner with you.
Mhm.
Another thing is go to your rural electric cooperatives, because they're looking for grant funding. They're looking for people with land. They're looking for people who have those resources already. So I know someone who is tapping into like a Tesla farm.
Mm.
Okay. And they're looking for people with land so that they can put their panels on. They're also with those rural electric companies. Unfortunately, some individuals are signing these contracts because people are coming door to door and trying to get people to sign these contracts. They sign and then they come out with the panels and the house is not even ready. Or they tap into the rural electric companies, and when they come and check your home, it's not even ready for the solar panels. So now you've signed a contract, but your home is not ready, and you may have to put $30,000-$40,000 into that home to get it ready.
Oh,
So
wow. That's a big investment.
it is, but they don't know that.
Mhm.
And so, as a small business, a small developer, how you can help is one, tap into these rural electric companies. What do you and ask them, what do you see that your customers need? Then you can go back to the drawing board and you can create that. You can then partner with those rural electric companies and with the solar panelists to be the intermediary. And you help people in your community that way, because there needs to be someone in the center of all of this, that cog in the wheel per se, to ensure that people in your community are not signing contracts that they shouldn't sign. So education is key in this time. And as that small business, that's where you can really have a niche. So you don't necessarily have to purchase the products yourself, but you have to tap into those who are trying to issue it. And so that, and also remember this, the same people who were left behind when COVID hit and those individuals didn't have internet service, those are the same people who are being left behind in this initiative. So if you want to be impactful in your community, seek out those neighborhoods and those individuals who were left behind with trying to get internet service for their children during COVID. And that's where your market can be.
These are good insights. Thank you so much for this. Now, when we think about, these consulting opportunities, these marketing opportunities to really be in our community as foot soldiers, essentially, to be like, hey, this is what you need to be thinking about. This is how you don't miss this opportunity. Is that a lane for us to really consider, like to be in that role as like community advocacy? And are there organizations already out here that are doing this work? If I wanted to volunteer, is this like nonprofit work? Like, how do we really earn income from this when I think about the educational and advocacy aspects of this work that you're talking about?
Yes, you can apply for technical grants to become trainers. There are going to be a lot of financial institutions who may not offer the solar products, but they can always offer the technical piece of it, which is the education, becoming that trainer, becoming that intermediary. Because again, you want to make sure that the people in your community are not taken advantage of. So as you look for those funding opportunities, look for those training grants. And that's how you can have that initiative if you don't want to actually sell the panels and become an installer, and those kinds of things where you need to purchase the equipment.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about the electric vehicle side because I know a couple of people like Juicy Energy, folks that are stakeholders at the Russell Center that are doing some things to try to help people who own, again, their commercial spaces to put these electric vehicle charging stations onto their properties. So I'm sure this is absolutely helping with these emissions because we're transitioning over from traditional cars to these electric vehicles. And for these things to really work, you need to be able to stop and charge and gas up the same way we have gas all over the country, right? And so, what were you hearing? Were there any pitches around the electric vehicle space? Anything you've seen that we should be considering as, again, business owners, people who might want to invest? Like, where are some angles that you think there might be opportunities?
Absolutely. And I'm going to go back to, if you have land,
Mm.
go to the rural electric cooperatives and let them know I have land.
How much land should we be talking about? Is it an acre? Is it 100 acres? Is it 400? Is it 22? A 5 or 6? What's a good amount when we think about having land and going to a rural cooperative?
I would say even 1 or 2 acres of land. There's actually just a Tesla location that is near my home now, and it was a parking lot. Used to be a grocery store and a gym. And I went out there, and now there's probably 20 charging stations. I was at a Smithfield barbecue and I looked up and there were 2 charging stations.
Okay.
And what happens with these rural cooperatives, they pay you to have those charging stations on your land.
Mm.
So
Okay.
if you have, again, if you have some land that's untapped, unused, now again, it's not standardized, and that's part of the issue because it's like if then when you say is it 1 acre, is it 10 acres, is it 100 acres? I'm going to say tap into those resources that need you
Okay.
because they don't want to go out and purchase that land. They don't want to be land owners,
Mm.
but they do need to provide the service to their membership, their customer base. So reach out to them and ask them what they need. So as you think about it, again, there's lots of angles that you can take. You can become the trainer and apply for the technical grants. You can use your land to create. Now, solar farms, you need much acreage. That the charging stations, not so much because they don't take up as much space. But to be effective in your particular market, go to the solar dealers and go to those electric cooperatives and ask them what they need. And then you can create your business plan based upon that. Couple that with going to, again, that Inflation Reduction Act, that greenhouse gas, and seeing what is available in your space. Because every state is not going to be the same. States are graded differently. When I took my solar class, we had to go in and see what type of initiatives the state we wanted to work in, what they had to offer, and we were grading the states, and it's quite vast. Yeah. Now, let's also talk about this because I mentioned the rural electric cooperatives. I talked about the dealers, but don't forget that the IRS provides tax credits. So go out to the IRS website and see what they're offering those tax credits in. And that's how you're going to begin to leverage your concept. What is available to you in your particular state?
So this is some game, right? So essentially, if I have some land, I have the ability to put 100 acres worth of solar panels on there. I can partner with an electric cooperative. They buy essentially my solar from me. I then have my angel investors. They invest in what I'm building out so that I can make this actually happen because you said I have to prep the land. There's some costs that go into actually making sure you're prepped to be able to take on these solar panels. And then after I get these solar panels up, I have my investors. We can give these tax credits out that the IRS is now going to give me for this project. So there's a lot of win-win-win opportunities for everyone in the community that's involved. And of course, there's an opportunity for us to make some money. This is Mocha Money Monday. That's what we do.
Mhm.
And we can partner with our credit unions, right? There's always a capital stack involved. You might need to get an upfront loan while you're out there raising your money. So let's really think about all the ways that you can really get some traction going with these green development projects by taking the roadmap that Miss Outlaw shared, because you just gave us a lot of game. Like I think that anyone that's looking for even a new business, This is a roadmap and a model for success to get into this green development space, either as a technical assistant, teaching your community members how they can take advantage of what's happening with the solar movement in their local community, or you can take your land and you can do some things. So, thank you, Miss Outlaw, for sharing all this exceptional information with us today.
My pleasure. And I'll be happy to provide more as we continue growing in this space. Like I said, some of the financial institutions are just getting into this space. And as I learn more, as they begin to build and structure, I will bring the information to you.
Thank you for that. We love that you are a part of our community, our Phenomenal Hughes Global Network. Now, Miss Outlaw, are you a part of our Phenomenal Global Hughes Network?
I am a part of the Phenomenal Hughes Global Network. I am a proud member.
All right. So please come back again to our next Mocha Money Monday and come connect with Miss Michelle Outlaw over at phenomenalhughes.com. This episode was brought to you by Wilson's Financial Group. And if you need some help getting with a credit union, helping to launch your business, if you want to rethink some of these things that or just need someone to talk to and mastermind with, we got you, girl. Come on through to the Phenomenal Hughes Global Network and join your community because we are here to help you grow. And that's what Mocha Money Monday is all about. So tune in next time. I'm Ashley Scott, your host, and we'll see you soon.